Okay, I think that we are live. Let me make sure that we're live here on
It
videos.
shows live for me.
Awesome. All right, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton-Sehon. I am with swiftfire.org True TV, and I have another guest here that's a repeat, and I'm so excited to have him. Robert Steele is here with us, and I had to have him on one more time, and maybe even later, because who knows about this election stuff. But I wanted to get an update from you, Robert. Thanks again for coming back, first of all. Are you hearing me good?
I am. I'm hearing you just fine.
Okay. I just wanted an update because I know I've watched a few things. You've interviewed quite a few people since then. And what is your take? What are any updates that you have as far as where we're at this moment?
Well, where we're at is YouTube has censored over 25 major voices in support of Donald Trump and in support of conservatism and in support of the Constitution. YouTube has also given me my second strike.
Oh.
And so I've been banned from YouTube posting for another 4 days. I think it was a 2-week jail sentence this time. And I fully expect YouTube to give me a third strike unless President Trump is reelected and he basically tells these people they need to start following the law. I mean, it's not just YouTube, but Amazon is banning books. Meetup is banning hashtag unrig at the same time that it's co-sponsoring hashtag resist seditionist movements. So the whole system's broken. Now, I asked someone today, Sasha Stone, why President Trump has not used the full powers of his office against these people. And kind of a subtext of that was, why didn't the new justice vote on the 2 election things? And I got back a very, very interesting answer, which is that Trump is not abusing his powers. He's basically not being a bully. And he is letting the people themselves see how this stuff is going on. So we'll see. I mean, what I know about Facebook is 50% of its so-called users are fake. So Facebook is deceiving its stockholders.
So just AI.
Yeah, no, it's been established. It's been documented that 50% of the Facebook accounts are not real people.
Wow, that is amazing stats. Yeah, since I've talked to you just 2 weeks ago, I was put in jail twice for being able to post or comment in any group. I just got out yesterday. And since then, Laura Eisenhower and David Rodriguez were both completely deplatformed.
Yeah,
and their producer. So
and Amelia Love has been deplatformed from Instagram. Where I think this is going, I mean, I now have my own video servers. I now have my own web ecology. In fact, I've just told Amazon that is starting to be a real pain in the ass on books. They've got these automated bot systems that if they find it somewhere else on the internet, they force you to waste your valuable time certifying that you're the author and own the copyright of that also. So where I think we're going actually is an end to Google Gestapo. I think we're going to find people developing their own servers with their own rights of anonymity, identity, privacy, and security, with a shout out to Kalia, Identity Woman. People can just look up Kalia, Identity Woman, and get right to it. I think people are going to start developing their own little ecologies. And frankly, my dream is PayPal executing my vision, which Amazon stole the first half of my vision. When I briefed them, I was the capstone speaker in the Amazon Developers Conference in 2007. In the year following, they patented the first half of my ideas, and they ignored the second half of my ideas, which were about empowering the public and sense making. So where I think we're going to end up going is people will own their own publications on their own websites, and PayPal will allow you to very easily charge microcash for a Kindle-like book. So I'm going to start taking all my Amazon Kindles and offering them for sale on my website as an electronic reading, a generic electronic reading thing. I don't need Amazon. And frankly, I think Amazon is cheating me out of half or more of my revenue, just as I think YouTube is fabricating 2/3 or more of the statistics. I don't think I have 90,000 followers. I think I've got 30,000 followers. And so YouTube is kind of like a statistics Ponzi scheme.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen, just to pivot a little bit too, talking about fake numbers. We're watching what, 15, 16 rallies a day. I'm exaggerating, but here's Trump just acting like Superman. And you see the numbers of the people in the rallies, and you see the cars. I'm sure you've seen the footage of like mountains and miles of trucks and cars, but the polls, right? And then also, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, even though I think, and Newt Gingrich, this is the number that Newt Gingrich has put out. He's saying 324 electoral votes for Trump. That's what Trump should get. Now, it's entirely possible the system is still rigged and that Biden could win, but I don't think so. I mean, as an intelligence professional, when I look at the Democratic campaign, what I see is people who are deliberately trying to lose, almost as if they were wearing ankle bracelets. They've already done videotape confessions, and they're playing the designated role of heel, of loser, in a Trump WrestleMania drama. So my prediction is Trump is going to win. And the fact that the justice did not deal a blow to those two election things, I think Trump is right. The election should be decided on election day. And if you do early voting, then it should be counted in time to be counted on election day. There should be no post-election day baloney. My gut sense is that Trump is going to win. I hope he wins decisively. And my other gut sense, I know people are frustrated that people haven't been doing perp walks and going to jail and stuff like that. I have always been huge on truth and reconciliation. And my general feeling is that Trump, who is a consummate businessman and negotiator and transactionist, pragmatic transactionalist, I think he's negotiated with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. He said, look, I can release all the emails and phone calls I've got that will cause mobs to burn down your house and rip you limb to limb, or I can send you to jail, or you can just get out of your way, Pax Vobiscum, go in peace. And I think that's the deal. The deal is they get out of the way. Now, this is an election for the world, not just for America. And it's between good and evil. It's between love versus fear. I mean, I look at Biden with his sunglasses and his black mask. I mean, this is Darth Vader rendering fear here. And then I look at Trump hugging the flag. And sure, Trump can be an asshole sometimes. But he's an authentic asshole. And he's my asshole. So I'm voting for Trump. And even though my vote doesn't count in Fairfax, Virginia, which I think is a very rigged system, I think that overall Trump may well win the popular vote as well as the Electoral College vote. And I have to remind people, the Electoral College exists because the 50 sovereign states of the United States elect the president. We're not the United Mob of the United States. And by the way, when the census starts counting illegals separately and foreigners separately, California, New York, and Florida are going to lose about, I would say, up to 10 congressional seats. Those seats will go to the heartland.
Well, that's what I think got. Oh, I got to echo now.
It's all right. You're not echoing for me.
Okay, cool. That's what I think got David booted off. He was actually on a live talking about the buses that were coming in through the border of El Paso, and that they were bringing them into the hospitals for the sake of getting health care on some level in exchange for votes for Biden. And they were locking down the city at the time.
Let me ask you this.
I mean, that's what he was literally on live. He had just called me that morning and told me it was Friday. And then he went live right after. And in the middle of his explaining that on Facebook Live, they took him down, and he called and he was like, oh my God, I'm gone. So yeah,
well,
there's definitely some immigrant voting going on. And it happened in 2016 too.
I think the truth is going to come out. Now, let me ask you this. Are you recording this separately on your computer at the same time that you're live streaming it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Bottom line here is I believe that America has woken up. And I did a great interview with Marshall Masters, who drove across the country for 2 weeks. And he says 75% of the people that he encountered, including people in Buffalo, New York, and elsewhere, 75% understand that we're in the middle of a fake pandemic that's intended to instill fear and lead to a mandatory vaccine and so forth. Now, I call this in mid-February. I've been right all along. But the president has allowed it to play out. And I think that in many ways, the COVID-19 plus the censorship, plus the mediocrity of the Democratic team, which has now twice stolen the presidential nomination from Bernie Sanders. The only thing Trump has not done, which I'm troubled by, is he has not gone after the independents, libertarians. This is the thing that I wrote with Cynthia McKinney. It's the election reform. It's the election reform plan, which would allow Congress in 2022 to have independents, libertarians, Greens, Constitution Party, and so forth. And it would eliminate the possibility of a single party ever dominating either chamber of commerce. That's where we need to go next. That's beyond Trump. That's what we do to go after Trump. And I'm being told by one of my White House contacts that there will be over 100 resignations from Congress if and when Trump wins the election. These are people that are basically wearing ankle bracelets. And if Trump wins, the deal is they resign and we have special elections and appointments, and Trump begins reshaping Congress immediately so that he will not have the Pelosi gridlock game.
Well, and it's been told too that after this last debate, they actually said something about the highest Google search ever was having to do with
change my vote,
changing your vote, and how to change your vote. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. And the other thing that Trump has not done, which I really wish he had, he should have fired the Presidential Debates Commission and reinstated the League of Women Voters and had a debate with the legitimately nominated candidates for the Constitution, Green, and Libertarian parties. There are presidential candidates, for example, the Libertarian Party, Joe Jurgensen. And he should have had a debate with the third parties and announced at that time that he would introduce #unrig election reform in time for Congress in 2022 to be completely proportionally representative of all American citizens, not just the two-party tyranny, which disenfranchises 70% of our voters. But on balance, I think, God works in ways I will never comprehend. And I think we're on a good path here. I think the American public is fed up with masks of fear and submission, which are, by the way, against the Nuremberg protocols. This is experimental medicine without informed consent. And the vaccine, in fact, John Rappaport has done a wonderful job of showing the vaccine doesn't exist. I mean, not the vaccine, the virus doesn't exist. CDC does not have a biological copy of the virus anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, do you have your Facebook open at the same time?
No.
Okay. Someone was just saying they hear an echo. I don't hear an echo anymore, but is the sound okay?
Well, I can try changing my microphone. It's okay for me.
Okay.
And frankly, I deal with a lot of trolls. And one of the most popular things trolls do to try and get you to answer them is say, there's something wrong with your sound. Fuck them. Okay.
Awesome. So talk to me about, because one of the situations David was talking about too is they were busing in also criminals and rioters. And, there's been the National Guard has been sent to Texas and Wisconsin and all these different places.
There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of drama here. In fact, there was this migrant caravan starting up again in Honduras, and I think it was time to arrive on election day. And again, I think Matt Taibbi's got it right when he says that Trump is managing a WrestleMania narrative. And if I look at the Democratic Party, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than a senile alleged pedophile from the state of Delaware and a black bitch from Jamaica who is despised by all authentic blacks in America. Okay, so you can't get any worse. And the Democratic Party is on record as saying they make more money with Donald Trump as president. And CNN is on record as saying they have the highest ratings they've ever had because of Donald Trump. He's carrying this whole country, including the evil half or the evil 25% on his back. I'm a happy camper. I mean, certainly we could be surprised tomorrow, but on balance, everything I'm seeing around the world says to me that Trump is going to be reelected. The European Union is going to break up within 5 years, and the British Commonwealth is going to break up within 10 years.
Well, Nancy Pelosi posted something yesterday on video saying that she wanted the UN involved, and that it wasn't going to be over on the day of the election, that it would be and that she wanted outside help. Like they're planning or they're expecting for something not to happen, because she said we'll know on January 20th, and I'm like, why are you putting that out there and already planning?
Well, again, Pelosi is an unindicted criminal, and so is Chuck Schumer. So are most of the Republicans that endorsed Biden. And I hope they're all wearing ankle bracelets. I think there has been an effort. When I was in Afghanistan in 2013, I was mentored by Chief Warrant Officer 4, retired. And we've been talking about all of this. And I wrote the first book on information operations, which is a logical follow-on to intelligence analysis and collection and so forth. And he said, Robert, you are watching the greatest information operation in modern history. I think what we're seeing here is a narrative of good versus evil. And I think everybody now understands that UNICEF was funded by the Rockefellers to give him an infinite supply of children to abuse. Okay? UNICEF is about pedophilia. And at the highest ranks of UNICEF, they're pedophiles. They're murderous pedophiles. Now, some of your listeners may not know that I am a commissioner and chief counsel.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to talk to you about that last time.
Well, let me just finish this thought. I'm the chief counsel and commissioner for the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Human Trafficking and Child Sex Abuse. I'm also funding a book, Pedophilia and Empire, Satan, Sodomy, and the Deep State, that is free online at pedoempire.org. And we just published the first of 5 volumes. This is a 2,500-page book that is being published in 5 volumes. And what's cool about pedoempire.org, the website, is it's got a tag cloud. You can look up names like Joe Biden and Les Wexner and so forth. We're entering uncharted territory here. In many ways, I think Silicon Valley has self-destructed. And what we're about to see is Web 3.0 is going to emerge, and it's going to be fully sovereign, independent, with the individual in charge of their information.
Yeah, if you can, please send me the links for all these books that you're holding up, just because I want to add that in the post so people can have an easy access, clickable link, as well as your website and any information, any ways that we can connect with you.
The easiest thing to do is just robertdavidsteele.com. Everything goes from there.
Okay. Yeah, because last interview, that was one of the things that we didn't have time to discuss. And do you know that I literally have family members and really close friends that to this day don't even believe in anything about these DUMBs or the children, or that this is a deal. And I've sent them some of your videos, and they just, how can you not believe?
Well, Danny Sheehan did a PhD at Harvard on mind control and mind biases. And what he found is that once your ideas are set, it's like they're almost set in stone. It's very, very hard for people to open up. In fact, I just did, and this might be worth doing. I don't know if I can screen share with you, but I can certainly just read them off. I've gone through 7 levels of intellectual development. All right. And the first level, which included believing in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, level 1 is the average human being tends to assume that truth is the default. It's not. The second level of intellectual development is to know that lies are the default. And basically everything we're being told by universities, by governments, by the media is a lie in one way or another. The third level is to start to appreciate consciousness and energy wellness and all of this stuff that you do. And I've been amazed at the number of energy wellness people that have come and had me interview. And and so forth. The fourth level is understanding that everything is energy in some form. The fifth level is understanding that there are stellar civilizations. The sixth level is understanding that if everything is energy, frequencies are how you manage and manifest energies.
Yeah.
And last but not least, and I just did a wonderful review of a book by Preston Nichols with Peter Moon called The Music of Time. Review, The Music of Time, and it's at phi-beta-iota.net. And essentially what he's talking about is how frequency management can lead to time and space travel.
Yep.
And it's really fascinating. I obviously have no direct experience. As best I know, I have never time traveled or traveled in space, but I'm completely open to this. And I think that we're at the very beginning. If I had to put humanity's mindset now, remembering that mind control has been dumbing us down and drugging us up for over 50 years officially, taking up from the Nazis. I think we're in about the third or fourth grade as a species. And we used to be at a graduate level with telepathy and remote viewing and all of this other stuff. And so we've been repressed. And what I think is happening now, in 2012 was the starting year, I think humanity is about to blossom in a way that I'm just agog.
Well, we know that Tesla had all this technology, reverse engineered technology that has yet to be declassified. We're living for the day when we can actually have access to that on a regular, whether it's med beds or time travel or free energy or flying cars or, whatever it is. And, frequency is my thing. So definitely.
No, tell us more about frequencies. I mean, I'm just really, really interested.
Yeah. So basically our biofield, bio means two, is both radiating out and it magnetizes back in. And we are 67 megahertz on a healthy adult day. So just like a light bulb has megahertz, we are physical beings, but we're energetic beings. We're spiritual beings that live on a frequency. And everything you think about, talk about, and feel especially has a signature code that goes out in code into the biofield, through the body and into this 6 to 8 feet biofield, which is interesting that we're social distancing within six feet, right? Because it's transferable.
They're trying to kill our humanity. They're trying to kill our humanity. So are you telling me when I call Jared Kushner a scum-sucking sack of shit, I'm like being negative?
Or
bad idea,
or truthful. I mean, truth has a frequency and authenticity as well. But when
so help me digest that. Should I basically say no evil? Say no evil. How should I handle Jared Kushner's existence in my cognitive field?
When we judge, the reason why it says you only get what you are. So if we judge, that actually sends a code frequency out, and especially if you have pissed off feelings about it, anger, then that anger frequency goes out and you actually magnetize angry people to you and judgmental people to you. So the best way to say stop sovereign.
So should I love scum-sucking sacks of shit?
I love you so much. I love you so much. You should.
I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love. I mean, do I need to reform myself?
I just love you. I love how direct you are. I just wish everybody was honest.
It's an aberration from. It's not an aberration. It's an inheritance from the United States Marine Corps. I used to be a twit who was extremely intellectual and even very, very intellectual. And so I joined the Marine Corps and it balanced me out. But I'm feeling like maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. Maybe I should love Chuck Schumer for being a traitor.
No, no. See, and this is the difference. You can love justice, and that's the anger. And I feel a holy anger as well, like because it's the justice in us, it's the patriot in us that actually chooses to have a high level ascended, righteous.
So give me some free counseling.
So, I don't know about free counseling, but you can just demand and command miracles on the earth. You can say, I am love and I stay, and I see righteousness on the earth everywhere I go, and only God touches me, only God touches my world. You know, you can make some declarations and or have a feeling towards that. When that feeling goes out, you have a different code, and then you start collecting different people and or situations. But on a collective, you know, we're
so
in an energy.
if I follow your path, which I'm really listening, I'm learning from this. If I follow your path, essentially Antifa, Black Lives Matter, the Zionists, George Soros, and all these people, they kind of go out into the ether and don't touch my life.
What? No, there is God in action too. There are choices. You know, love is a frequency too, right? And love looks like a lot of different things. Love isn't just hiding in the basement and hoping everything goes away and having mental energies of, you know, prayer works and meditations do work. They've shown criminal activity has gone down when they've done these mass.
I've seen that. I've seen
Yes.
that. I've never had a lot of faith in Kumbaya, but I've seen
there's
that.
also enforcement, and there's law and order, and there's action. You being God in action or love in action looks a lot of different things, and it may not look like that to someone who's crossing boundaries, but cause and effect is real. And if we don't stand up for what is correct and righteous, meaning the right things, and actually for freedom, which freedom is free, but it's not free. Freedom is for us to have the abilities to have purpose and do our thing, but it's the home of the free and the brave, meaning there's an action part here. There's a call to action to stand up and to be brave and to walk in our truth. And when people go beyond the law of love, which is, it's just sin, which I don't like that word, but sin just means anything less than love. That is a low vibration, and there are consequences to that.
So when Joe Biden tells me I want to legalize pedophilia and bestiality, how do I react to that?
Reaction, you have to keep your thoughts and your frequency high, but also there's a call to action to lock up people like that, to get rid of them. I mean, there are rules, there are laws, and
well, are these natural laws? Are these cosmic laws?
Cosmic laws.
I'll tell you, when I look at
natural laws, I mean, I have people who are in ministry or in frequency realms or in like these spiritual people, and they're like, please don't wish bad things on people, or please, you know, I hope you're not like wanting people to be punished. And it's like, dude, I just want righteousness. I want law and order. I want peace on earth. Like, there has to be someone. That's why we have police officers. That's why we have a military, to maintain order and for the rest of us to be able to have actual freedom. So yes, I'm not saying go around and think about the worst things, and, you know, but there's also cause and effect, and you cross over these realms and these boundaries. Love is also keeping boundaries and maintaining boundaries. What does maintaining boundaries look like? Law and order. You know, it's like, if you won't do it, we'll make you do it, you know. And some of these people, I don't even think they're people. I think some of them are just, whether they're programmed or as AI stuff or off-planet
psychopaths
stuff.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Marianne Williamson. I've never been able to connect with her. I tried several times through Thom Hartmann, but her book, The Politics of Love, was so good. I sent it to the First Lady, and I also sent it to Kellyanne Conway, and I got a nice note from an intern in the White House. I'm not at all sure the First Lady got the book, but at least it was delivered to the White House. But The Politics of Love was very interesting to me. And what I'm hearing you saying, because I'm big on true cost economics, what I'm hearing you saying is we need the truth, no matter how ugly it is, in order to deal with it. Yeah,
and with censorship, how are we getting the truth? And so guess what? Those dudes who like went after Laura, David, or any of them, there's hundreds of them, and there are consequences to that. They're going to regret the day that they mess with any of this stuff, because it will come back. Energy doesn't lie. Karma doesn't take a day off. It doesn't sleep. And so on an energetic level, they already lost. When you try to...
I agree with that. I agree with that. And in fact, the greatest truth here that has come out through censorship is that Silicon Valley is a censoring agency.
Well, and with timeline wars, or you want to call it yellow cube or looking glass or whatever, that's the whole thing, is they're seeing ahead and they're trying to make adjustments so it works in their favor. And guess what? Everyone else is doing the same thing. So we, this timeline war and this basically vibration information war Even scripture, which I look at as quantum physics, it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That word wrestle actually means we vibrate against. So it's like low frequency versus high frequency. Is like we got to get high frequency and also establish God in action, which is love in action, which is a very high frequency, and it wins every time. So they can keep on moving the timeline however they want, but eventually they lose because they go against the law, and just by service to self instead of service to humanity.
I have two thoughts as I'm listening to you. The first is you should be in the White House instead of Paula White. Paula White is one of these prosperity gospel people who says, send me money and God will make you rich. But she resonates with the president because he was brought up with Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. And I think the president is very much in tune with what you're preaching.
Well, I was actually invited to Florida to Paula's deal to meet with him, and I was in New Zealand at the time. I don't know Paula personally, but I was invited through whoever was putting it together, and I didn't get to go, but I did. They asked me to write a letter about some of these dreams that I had and just anything that I had, and I got a note back saying that he was hand delivered all of that information. And I really do believe that one day I will meet him, but you can watch him and see that he does the same thing. He speaks what he wants to happen, and he projects out and behaves as if it already happened. Because when we do that, and especially if we put our heart into it and then we feel as if it already happened, that creates a code and it changes the outcome. And so if we could do that on a collective, holy cow, I mean, and that's what the mainstream media is doing. They're trying to operate in the same way of getting, total brainwashing and doom or gloom, fear, whatever. If we can keep that frequency so low that we just sit back and go, oh my God, it's not going to happen, or oh, masks forever, or quarantine forever, and doom and gloom, and dark winter. Oh my God, it's he just literally said it, that there's going to be a dark winter. He knows what he's doing. Twice. Well,
again, remember that Biden may be wearing an ankle bracelet. I've talked to 3 people who have seen the contents of the infamous laptop, and it makes Hillary Clinton look like a Girl Scout.
Really?
It's just, it's bad. It's funny because I did a headline here: Cosmic Wars in Multiple Timelines, 64 timelines, and 14 of them the Cabal wins.
14 out of how many?
64.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't understand all this stuff, but I believe that it's there. And I think it's really cool that you and I somehow got connected and are talking to each other. And I certainly hope you're turning all your energy on for tomorrow.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've been doing nothing. And look, for you guys who are watching, you can do some God in action stuff too. Do not sit down and cry and do nothing. Make sure to vote. Get out there and vote. But also there are other things. Make sure other people are voting. Be truthers. Do some research. Read books like that he put up, so you're educated and have actual knowledge on this information, and you're not just like, oh well, whatever. But post it. Put it out there. Email it. Talk to people. Get on a phone call. Show up at rallies.
There should be a collective. There should be a collective energy. Now, a point that Amelia Love made to me was that if you don't vote, someone else will vote for you. So make sure that your vote is exercised as a way of blocking it from being used by someone else illegally.
Yeah, I've talked to so many people who are just like, oh, well, I'm not into politics and it's okay. And I'm just like, you may not be into I don't know how you cannot be into politics, because if you are not, then you're actually giving over your authority to the people who make all of the rules and set all the laws for the freaking land that you live in. Do you not understand that this can be enforced upon you if you do not stand up and actually participate? And it blows me away that people aren't wanting to do anything about it.
Well, it's part of the problem is that it's by design. Okay, I mean, this is I guess I can't do information sharing, but in the free, people can go get this for free at unrig.net. Okay, so at unrig.net, this is free. This is a very, very important graphic, which basically shows that 70% of the public is locked out of the political system. The Democrats control 17% of the voters. The Republicans control 13% of the voters. And other 20% are active but ineffective. Libertarians, independents, and so forth, Greens. And then 50% have dropped out. And that 50% dropping out is what allows the two-party tyranny to rig the system.
Well, I am very encouraged that the numbers are so high, and apparently the highest ever for pre-voting. And I mean, I live right around the corner from the library, and every single day the lines were very, very long for people to pre-vote or vote early. I don't know how it was where you are, but I think it's encouraging. I don't
know, because there are a lot of people that voted for Biden before the Hunter Biden laptop came out.
Yeah, that's sad. And that's why I thought, I didn't even know you could change your vote. But
I didn't know you could change your vote either.
But I just posted something on my Facebook where you can there's ways to do it, and only certain states can do it, but there are ways to do it, and it gives all the steps on how to do it. If you go to my Facebook, there's a chart.
That's probably going to be too hard for most people. I mean, at this point, the die is cast, and I'm still shocked that so many people have allowed themselves to be locked down. In France, the mothers are being required to wear masks while giving birth to babies, and it's causing some of them to pass out. And the babies are being tested for COVID as they come out of the womb, and these tests are all fake. So if the baby tests positive for COVID, it is isolated from the mother for 14 days and fed chemical crap instead of breast milk. I mean, I don't make this stuff up. It is just, I don't understand why people aren't rioting in the streets over the masks.
They are overseas.
Yes, they are overseas, not in the United States.
I don't understand.
Very good in the United States.
I don't get why we're not doing that here. But it's crazy in Europe. It's crazy overseas. And yeah. And then just the whole socialism thing. I posted something yesterday because it says something about a mouse doesn't understand why the cheese is free in a trap. You know, it's like, free college. There's no free college. Do you not understand? But the videos, I mean, just out of curiosity, I went like on TV and some of these other, I know what kids do, and looking at TikTok and stuff. And they're just propaganda all day long. Breonna Taylor, you didn't like that? Okay, vote. You want free college? Vote. And they're saying to vote for Biden, but they don't understand. Until my daughter got married and had her first job and had the Texas taken out, and she's married to a ranger. They're up in Washington, and she lives now in Washington where all this crap has gone down. I mean, the dude who got killed was found like blocks away from her apartment. And she's like, oh my God, Mom, I get it. Until it happens, until you experience it, up until then, Snapchat and TikTok is your only way to get false information. Then you're completely brainwashed already.
Well, someone smarter than me said that when the application is free, you're the product. And that's a very clever way of putting it. My dream is to build Web 3.0 and create an open source agency for President Trump. And Mike Flynn knows that's my dream, but no promises have been made. I don't expect anything, but I would like very much to fulfill that vision for the rest of my life. And my intent, and if I ever had a building, although this is intended to be a distributed agency, Thomas Jefferson's phrase, "A nation's best defense is an educated citizenry," would be my motto.
I think that's very clever, and I wish you all of the prosperity and avenues that can make that happen. Yeah. Like, someone's already sending $5. Great conversation. Awesome. So yeah, I'm like, let's do it. Let's set something up and start funding it. One of my mantras, or, going back to code and frequency, is God funds all my projects. I am fully God funded.
Well, I'm fully God funded, but on a string. a real shoestring. You know, what's sad is I want your audience to know that although CIA has fought me for 30 years on this because I scare the crap out of them.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either, because I would make them great. I mean, my most famous soundbite in the 1990s was "Don't send a spy where a schoolboy can go." You do everything you can with open source, and then you go, if you absolutely need it, with other sources. But what the public needs to know is that the Office of Management and Budget has approved my ideas at $2 billion a year in funding twice. Okay. But CIA has managed to block me from reaching the president, reaching the Secretary of State, and reaching the Secretary of Defense. An open source agency is how you put the Trump presidency on steroids.
Well, let's figure out how we can get, if anyone has
I'll
any
take all the good vibes you can send.
Yeah, and if everyone could like just focus on that, and that he would get that door opened, and we would get the proper people aligned for whatever to happen. Miracles happen every day. You never know, right?
Well, let me talk to it a little bit, and people can find my latest memorandum to the president. I always speak in tiny URL terms. So tinyurl.com/POTUS-5, POTUS-5. And I also have a lecture I gave at the Disclosure Conference in California, a state I will never return to again. I couldn't even fill the tank in my car because of these stupid things that they've got on the ends of the gas pumps. It kept cutting off my gas. It's some kind of pollution thing. Anyway, I have proposed to the president through multiple sources, through multiple channels, that he throw the press out of the White House, and that he convert that space into a Trump educational studio and
Trump TV.
Huh?
I've been calling it Trump TV. I have the same idea, Trump TV.
Well, and it's not just Trump. You bring in assistant secretaries and cops on the beat and teachers that are truthful teachers, not these morons that we've got out there now. And so I've got a map of the White House, which is easily available at POTUS-5. And so it shows the whole press area. We push the press back to the National Press Club. The whole press area becomes a national brain. It becomes a place where you've got a TV studio, you've got a truth channel, and then you've got the open source agency with just 6 people managing $2 billion a year. And what that really means is you then go out and you get the top people on poverty, the top people on infectious disease, you get them all connected, and you basically tell the public the truth about everything. And you also have, there's a wonderful app where you can point your phone at a barcode, and Wired Magazine had this in an article, and it'll tell you, if you eat me, I'll kill you.
Wow.
So you get true cost economics. So anything having glyphosate, for example, would immediately be wiped off the market. You don't use government regulation to keep people safe. You use education to keep people safe. Okay. So my vision, which I ask for everyone's prayers and energies to be focused, is to run an open source agency, to create and run an open source agency for the president and his successors. And by the way, open source intelligence is cool because you can share it with Congress, with the public, with the media, and with allies. And you can also use it to lift the educational mean for the entire country. You create a smart nation with an open source agency. Are you there? Well, folks, I don't know if you can see me, but robertdavidsteele.com, and I publish the Steele Report at thesteelereport.com, and pedoempire.org is free. Everything I do is free except for the Steele Report. So God bless all of you, and God bless America, and God bless the President of the United States of America and the First Lady, Melania Trump.
Hey guys, my power just went out, so I am on my phone. I'm going to end the broadcast. This is crazy. Thank you guys. Thank you, Robert. Sorry about all of this. Super interesting. We're sitting here talking about love and frequency, and then literally, whatever was said, literally, the power literally just goes off. All right. I have an interview with Jason Dean coming up, as well as Carrie Cassidy this evening. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. All right, bye.